I mean, obviously, one of the best definitive sources is Progress has a huge list of these IOCs, but as a quick few checkboxes to look at, if you were compromised, you likely have this human2.aspx web shell sitting in the web root of your MOVEit transfer. So that's C MOVEit transfer web or www root. Human.aspx is a legitimate file for the record. So human2.aspx is the web shell itself. You also may see this health check service user in the database. Blow that away. The other thing that you'll need to look for is obviously any other unauthorized accounts, but also an active MOVEit transfer session. So that is in, I don't think, and John, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's any tool that Progress has released to remove these sessions. They have instructions to remove all sessions, I think. So you basically just have to invalidate everything. But we'll see later as we get into the actual how this exploit happened. There is essentially a fake session that's added to that database that will never go away unless you manually delete it. So that's something really important to do there. And then if you want to hop to the next slide, the last couple things are the logs. Now, you can enable this all debug logging. It is worth mentioning. It produces a lot of logs. So keep that in mind. There is, obviously, as you can see on the screen there, you can set a max size and that kind of thing. But it is a lot of logs. It's a lot of information. It will log every single SQL query. It'll log all the headers from requests. It's a lot of information. And then there is also a way to enable Windows event logging, which logs a lot of similar audit information, but to the Windows event log, which might be more accessible to you depending on how you do monitoring in your environment and that kind of thing. So here's on the screen, we have some screenshots here about how to get to those different settings in both the web interface for enabling Windows event logs, as well as in the MOVEit transfer configuration application for enabling the debug logging. Obviously, on top of all of that, patch the servers. There are patches out for this specific vulnerability, so ideally patch. But also, if you'd like to do all of these things, like maybe enable debug logging or something like that to be able to have a little bit closer eye on MOVEit, that could be helpful.